Hi, I'm Joy Bishop with The Gathering Space, and I wanted to share with you today the thought process behind creating the space itself. When we first started, it did not look like a place for people to necessarily gather and create some of the most important memories of your life. So we are remodeling, but it was really important to me not to do just a generic remodel where everything looks nice, but there aren't any special elements. I really wanted to create the perfect backdrop for these special memories that couples are creating out on the property. And so I want to walk you through a little bit where how it all came together and the thought process behind it all. When I started planning how the look and the feel of the gathering space, I started gathering inspiration for different venues. I knew the feeling that I wanted it to evoke, but I wasn't 100% sure on color scheme and that sort of thing. But I knew that I wanted it to be timeless, and I knew that I wanted it to have sort of a vintage feel where everything isn't brand new. There's a mix of old and new, and I thought that was a good representation for what we come into with a marriage. Like we're bringing in our old experiences, but we're excited about our new journey together. So the first thing that I started with is just the exterior of the wedding event, the wedding barn itself. And after poring over lots and lots of images, I came up with, this was actually the inspiration. It's not what it'll end up looking like. I went off on a few rabbit holes, but the basic design concept of everything just being white and clean, like a fresh journey. Like all of the buildings will be white, and then there'll be some black accents, and then some weathered cedar to give it more of a sense of history and a story. So that was the design inspiration for the outside. And then when I started thinking about the cottage and how I would furnish it, I always go down these weird rabbit holes, but I started looking at color theory. And, what do you want to feel when you're getting married? And, the things that marriage brings to you. And of course, there's, stability and security. There's romance. There is abundance or fertility. There's friendship. So just thinking about what it is that your hopes are for that day, and then colors that represent that. And so that's where the color palette came from, is from color theory. And so then I started looking at fabrics and what would evoke the feeling. And this is the very first fabric I chose. And so it is a brand new fabric, but it looks like this could have been from any time period. It has a great vintage feel. And grays actually create a sense of calm and stability and security. And everybody wants to feel rooted and grounded on that day because your nerves are crazy. Crazy. So that became the backdrop. Then I added in blush pink for the romance aspect, and white is your friendship and fresh beginning and purity. And then we have greens that'll be mixed in. And so that really is that's your hope for fertility and abundance. And so then this morphed into all of the branding colors. So these 4 colors, this earthy green, grays, this worn ivory white, and then blush pink, that it was the whole concept now for the gathering space. That's how I chose paint colors. So we have one room that's gray, we have one room that's blush pink, and then the main area is kind of this neutral concept here. But these are actual fabrics that will be used in the cottage itself. These are actually pillow shams that will go into the bridal suite itself. Actually, this and this are mixed together. And then a solid green. So it kind of brings everything together. All the bedding is white. But then I brought in an old antique fireplace mantle to give it that story, that everything isn't just brand new. You're bringing in something from the past. And that's really how the design process started. And then I started thinking about the different areas that we would need. You know, everybody wants to have a place to feel pampered as you're getting ready. And so then I started looking for, you know, specific areas for brides to get ready, still using that same color scheme. Nowadays, everybody wants an actual photo backdrop. So, you know, lined out some photo backdrop ideas. This particular photo, anyone that's gotten married has this particular photo. So then I looked for places where we would place the large vintage mirror. So that's kind of how the process came about. As far as the furniture layout is concerned, I really I went back and looked at photos, like wedding photography, and what, you know, the different types of shots that different photographers are getting from a bridal shoot. And when I saw that, that gave me inspiration to create the backdrop for those things to happen. And so that's how it all came about. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you can feel my enthusiasm for this, and I cannot wait to show you how this has all come together. It's definitely morphed and developed and changed as time has gone on, so I'm just as excited to see the finished product as I am to show you. Thank you again for joining me.